Hello, hello, hello to all my perseverance pioneers out there. This is the Perseverance Mindset Podcast. I am your host, John Zadzura. So today we set sail on a voyage back in time, a time when sails ruled the seas and where legends were written in cannon smoke and salt water. And today we're bringing that all to you. We're diving into one of the most storied pirate ships in maritime history, the Queen Anne's Revenge. Once captained by the infamous pirate Blackbeard, this ghost ship of the Atlantic disappeared into legendary status until it was rediscovered off the coast of North Carolina. And today's episode is part historical mystery and part modern adventure. So we'll talk about how scale model of this ship led to a deep dive into its past. Just wanted to wish everyone a great weekend. Hopefully you're having a great July 12th Saturday. The weather seems pretty great. But so today I wanted to just mention that over the past few days, I stumbled across a handcrafted model of the Queen Anne's Revenge, and I want to show it all to you here live on the podcast. So you have to just look at this thing. So cool, right? Scale model. You have to really get a closer look. It has little cannons on there, has a little chain, the black sails. And I just had to really take this in. Like, this is so cool. Like, I have many models in our podcast, our dialogue den, because I just like looking at them. But when I found this, and when I really took time to learn more about it, once I stumbled upon this, it was really extraordinary. So found that at a local antique shop tucked away in Pennsylvania. The place kind of smelled like wood polish, old books, my kind of place. As a history lover and as a lifelong history lover at that, especially drawn into stories of the sea and the age of exploration, and this model instantly pulled me in. The detail was quite, very, very, very detailed. It was very attentive to detail. The mass, as you'd seen, you know, correctly aligned with the period of the time, the tiny cannons I was just showing you on the model, even the scorch marks where she might have taken fire. They even smudged some of the paint, but that model sparked a fascination in me. And what was it about this ship that captured my imagination of sailors and historians alike? So I started doing a little digging, of course, and that's as simple as an AI search or as a Google search today. And that's when I learned about the wreck discovered in 1996 and the shallow waters just a mile from Fort Macron. Archaeologists believe that the remains of Queen Anne's Revenge herself stumbled upon it over that off the coast of Carolinas, but the detail of it, was quite exquisite. We were talking about the small, tiny cannons on the model, smudges of where it might have taken fire. That model sparked a fascination. And what was it about the ship that captured the imaginations of, sailors, historians, So we all started digging. So we can't talk about Queen Anne's Revenge without one of the most famous and revered pirates. Of course, a pirate captain can't be that revered for all that history, but sometimes spelled Thatch Blackbeard. This was no ordinary pirate. He was basically, it started as a privateer during the War of the Spanish Succession and eventually turned into piracy. Amassing a small fleet in 1717, he captured a massive French slave ship and refitted it for piracy, naming it Queen Anne's Revenge. Armed with up to 30 guns and a crew nearing 300, Blackbeard used the ship to blockade Charleston, South Carolina, in 1718. His reign of terror was brief, but it was brutal, and brutal at that. So the ship wasn't built for piracy, as Blackbeard once confirmed it, modernized and customized it to his pirate liking. It was originally that French slave ship that we were talking about. It was repurposed with firepower and plenty of fear. With its size and speed, it could outgun most merchant ships that sailed across the waters at that time and escape larger naval vessels, which was key to basically having that ship uncontrollably scourge these seas. It had a reinforced hull and gun decks that gave it such a dominating presence at the time. So now this model that I saw and I showed you was based on blueprints reconstructed from the wreck site. Everything from the little chains I was showing you to the deck planks basically was rebuilt in the model, but it was so cool. And also wanted to just share with all of our Perseverance pioneers out there more about the shipwreck and its discovery, which I was able to find out. The shipwreck was found in 1996, lies just in 25 feet of water. It's been particularly buried in the sand, protecting many artifacts for nearly 300 years. Cannons, anchors, jars, surgical tools, and even just like syringes from all the procedures they used to do on board, which is recovered. It paints a picture of life aboard, not just piracy, but survival, sickness, and in battle. It was also the North Carolina Department of Natural and Cultural Resources leads, the excavation of that. And Queen Anne's Revenge Shipwreck Project has recovered over 300,000 artifacts so far. That's what people have been able to recover from the wreckage. So the ship itself, Queen Anne's Revenge, gives us insight into the early 18th century's maritime world, a time of shifting powers, colonial expansion, and blurred lines between privateering and piracy. Blackbeard used this ship as a weapon, but this ship also represents resilience and an adaptation into how a vessel meant for human cargo was turned into a piracy fortress. And now, centuries later, it's helping archaeologists better understand how everything from naval warfare to life at sea adapted. And with that alone, it's quite extraordinary on such just a story of finding this local Queen Anne's Revenge, model at a local antique shop enabled me to basically find out more about this vessel, more about history. As a history lover myself, I wanted to share just that information with all of our Perseverance pioneers. So, Perseverance pioneers, the past is never truly lost. In our podcast, we get into a lot of interesting topics, a lot of current events. We've talked about the ongoing trade war. We've talked about the financial Cold War with China, a lot of current events, but we can never steer clear of just the history and the presence that history has regarding any century, any decade in our life today that helps shape our life today. So Queen Anne's Revenge was more than just Blackbeard's ship. It was a symbol of transformation, rebellion, and unrelenting tide of history, good, bad, or indifferent. So here's your challenge. Next time you see an antique shop or just a dusty old model shop on the shelf, stop in, take a moment of your time, visit these local businesses, visit these shops. It just might be the start of your own voyage into history, learning more about the past. And I think through those endeavors, we can all learn more about our communities, more about our country, more about just world history, in addition to American history. So I wanted to just take this moment in time just to share that little model with you all. Basically, Blackbeard's pirate ship I was able to find is just a model. Just helped me explore even more about it in general and some of the history behind it. So just wanted to share that with all of you Perseverance pioneers out there. Wherever there is discovery, it never stops. And the legends of the Queen Anne's Revenge and Blackbeard the pirate, these are some things that basically shape history and world history. So, and if you like this video and you like the content in this video today, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us at the Perseverance Mindset Podcast on Facebook, and also at the Perseverance Mindset Podcast and blog on YouTube. So until next time, Perseverance pioneers, thank you. Have a great rest of your weekend.